Millions of homes and businesses will soon be able to access ultra-fast broadband under a multi-billion-dollar plan. The federal government has announced major changes to how NBN will be connected to homes. Labour is calling it the most extraordinary, wasteful, expensive public policy backflip in a generation. Political reporter Stephanie Boris joins us now from Parliament House. Afternoon to you, Stephanie. What does the government's announcement mean for us all?
Hello, Lorna. Well, it does mean faster internet by 2023, but in order to understand why and how we'll get to that point, we need to look back at when Labor was in government. Its plan with the NBN rollout was to provide 90%, more than 90% of homes and businesses with a connection known as fibre to the premises. However, when the coalition came into power, it scrapped that plan and put a new one in place called the multi-technology mix. Basically, what that means is millions of homes were instead connected to the NBN through different means, the most common one being fibre to the node. Fibre to the node, in simple terms, is the fibre runs to a node, which is basically a box near your house, and then that connection from that point to the home is through a copper line. So today the government's announcing that those fibre to the node connections can now be changed to fibre to the premises, which will create faster internet connections. In technical terms, it's up to 1 gigabit per second, but Lorna, in simple terms, it just means ultra-fast internet. That requires that change, though, from fibre to the node to fibre to the premises, which is what Labor had put in place initially when this plan was started. The cost of this change is about $3.5 billion, and it's up to the different homes and businesses whether they want the faster connection. It won't automatically be done. One has to ask for it. It won't be provided. There's no cost to the home or business, just obviously paying for that monthly use of the internet. Now, Communications Minister Paul Fletcher was questioned today on why the government has changed its thinking around how the NBN is connected to businesses and homes. He maintains the government always planned to upgrade as the years went on. Here's what he had to say.
Labor's approach was build fibre to everybody straight away. We consistently said, number one, much more expensive. The capital cost of a connection, $4,500 per premise. Fibre to the node is in the low twos. So secondly, Labor's approach was we'll give fibre to everybody, including people who don't want it. Many of the most successful rollout strategies around the world, including in New Zealand, for example, have been you only connect the fibre lead-in when the customer orders a service.
I mentioned that Labor has called this a backflip. Why?
The reason they're calling it a backflip is because this is what Labor initially announced when it was in power, this whole process of connecting NBN to the premises instead of via a node. Connecting to a premises does also mean faster internet connection. So Labor today arguing that the coalition was always against their plan, now they're for it, and this will create further disruption. It will cost more money. The Shadow Communications Minister, Michelle Rowland, says it's an embarrassing backflip.
Today's announcement about the NBN is the most extraordinary, wasteful, humiliating backflip in public policy in a generation. For over 7 years, the Liberals have been telling us that Labor's vision of an NBN, that our delivery of a fibre-based model to Australians in order to meet their needs as consumers, as businesses, as students, was not achievable.